So, after all the content we've done with the Xbox, I figured it's high time that we turn our attention towards the PlayStation 4. For those of you that haven't seen any of the Xbox videos, you can go into the Real Neat Gear playlist, or you can go to this link right here, and that'll lead you to some experiments and some process that we did to find out how well an Xbox One X works with an SSD as opposed to a hard disk. Though not explicitly requested per se, there has been quite a few people stating that this one is much easier, so I figured let's give the PlayStation its fair shake and go ahead and do a drive swap. Now, the PlayStation I have here actually belongs to Pam. She has the God of War edition PlayStation 4 Pro. I only have a regular PlayStation, so I figured a Pro would be appropriate for it. And she said she wanted to do an upgrade with her hard drive, so she turned it over to me to do such, and here we are. Really, there's not much more to go into than that, so we'll just jump right into it. Now, this is expected to go quite quickly, so this might be a short video, we'll see. The actual drive swap portion of this should be a fairly swift process. They make it really user-friendly. Much like the Xbox One X, I am going to be using the SanDisk SSD Plus. The only difference is this one is an actual 1TB model as opposed to the 960 gig model that the previous one was. One other way in which the process is different from the Xbox One is that we will not be doing any cloning of the drives. Apparently, they make it both hardware and software-wise a bit more user-friendly. So in theory, I should be able to just pop this drive in, run a couple of operations, and it should be good to go. So then the only thing I'm left with is reloading games and everything like that. So from a sheer time standpoint, obviously it takes as long as however many games you have. So there's obviously going to be no savings there, but I don't have to run a separate script. I don't have to plug in both drives to the PC to transfer everything over. In fact, I should be able to just pull the old drive out and just format it, but we shall see. Because of the nature of the way I am doing the drive swap, I do have to do some backing up of some stuff. I think it's system settings and save files, but we shall see. I'm going to go ahead and do that backup now. In order to do the backup, I need an external hard drive. This is a 500 gig SanDisk portable USB drive, which I will use to, hopefully it'll be big enough to store all the backup information. I think it should be. And then I have a USB key that will be used to run the script to activate the new drive once it's in. So we'll go ahead and plug in the USB drive. Then we go over to backup and restore in our PlayStation settings. That backup PS4. Okay, the warnings I'm getting are for a couple of generic users. I probably will have these blurred out so you won't even see them. Oh. Okay. Okay, so the backup process does back up everything, but what we're going to do is we're going to remove all but the games that we intend. Okay, so I removed a few games off of it because of some of the games that don't necessarily need. And so then we have our captures, themes, settings, and save data. Save data being the important one because I want to make sure that my progress is maintained. And then we'll go ahead and hit next. The PS4 will restart, and then the items you selected will be backed up to the USB storage device. Preparing for backup. Okay, the PS4 is backing up, so we'll go ahead and let it do its thing, and then we'll be back to go on to the next step. Alrighty, process is complete. Now we will go ahead and shut her down. Okay, now that is shutting down. And that should be it. So everything is saved onto this portable drive. Go ahead and disconnect that. So then I'll use that to restore once I have the new drive on there. Set that aside. And we can go ahead and disconnect everything from the PlayStation. Now it is time to pull out the old drive and put in the new one. Okay, so what we need, okay, so I believe this just pops off like so, and then got ourselves a single screw, comes off. And that, ooh, that's toasty. That is it. Well, I mean, as far as getting it out. But, okay, let's go ahead and move these screw-de-doos. Okay, so we got, oh, this is interesting. And this is something that I've seen discussed, a few times, and it's still like still not 100% on it, but this particular drive is a SATA 3 gig per second, which would suggest SATA II. So there may be something to the consoles all being SATA II. Either way, okay, so we have our old drive out. Where's that facing? Facing that way. Well, this one's a little bit awkward because it is not as big, so it's actually kind of suspended. Is that the right way? Okay, it appears to be correct. Okay, so we have, make sure these are all snug. Slide this back in here. Put that, oh. Put that in there. Take this. Pop it back on there. And we're done. It's about as simple as most of those of you in the comments were suggesting it was. It was literally, the only thing that took any effort was putting the drive in the tray. That's it. So yeah, super simple. So yeah, definitely a win for PlayStation as far as ease of use. Okay, so now the next step in the process. So I have a little thumb drive here that I'm going to download some software to that is going to be used to update the hard drive and the system on this and get it up to working order. And then the final step will just be putting our backup back onto the PlayStation. Okay, so I have my thumb drive in, and all I need to do is go to this website here, playstation.com/ and you will have this showing here. System software release 7.01 is the current latest version. And we will scroll down until we see this. I don't know why it says agree to terms and download it. Oh, if you click on it, you are agreeing to the terms. So yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so you click and download that. I actually had already downloaded it. It is in my downloads folder right now. Save file in update folder as PS4 update.pup, which I believe is the name of the file. So PS4 update.pup. Okay, so we're gonna cut that. We're gonna go into our USB drive, add a new folder, name it update. Go into that subfolder, paste it there. Wow, that's actually a decent sized file, I guess. Okay, it is in there. Okay, so I have just ejected the thumb drive from there, so now I'm going to go ahead and plug this guy back in, and then we shall plug in the thumb drive. Okay, so we have the new drive in, we have the thumb drive plugged in for the software update to update the drive to it, so let's see what happens. Oh, I wonder if it reset HDCP. Yeah, okay. So HDCP is active right now, so I can't capture the screen, so I just pointed a camera at it, so at least I can get the footage on there. But I have plugged in this, and I'll plug in this, because apparently the controller needs to be hardwired, because it says connect the DualShock 4, use USB cable PS button. Okay, so we'll press the PS button. Cannot find the update file. Did I format it incorrectly? Okay, I missed a step. Okay, so I made a mistake. I created in the root the folder named update, put the file in that. There needs to be another folder in there. So basically what I need to do is create a folder that says PS4 and then put the update folder in that. So I missed that step. Now that that's remedied, hopefully that is all that I needed to do. Okay, so I remedied that part, so let's see if that works. Okay, so now we cannot start the PS4. This is the screen we're supposed to get. And that, hit OK, and that should read this time. Well, it's doing something. The PS4 will be initialized. All users and data will be deleted. Are you sure you want to continue? Well, there's nothing on that hard drive anyways. Oh, no, damn it. The PS4 will be initialized. All users and data will be deleted. Are you sure you want to continue? Yes. Okay. And now it's doing its thing. Okay. So I guess we just let this update run its course and then we'll be good to go. Okay. We're doing initial setup. Okay, so I'll just have to delete user 1, but first things first. I don't even remember where it is. Oh, there it is. Huzzah! Okay, so we have... yeah, I should be able to remove this. That is hot. This PlayStation gets hot. We will plug in this guy and do our recovery now. No. Then we'll restore our PS4 from that selected file. Okay, so now I don't think it's HDCP this time, but something is preventing me from capturing the screen. There's 3 hours left in the restoration process, so we'll be back in 3 hours to wrap this up. Okay, rebuilding database. Welcome back. Please press the PlayStation button. Hey, would you look at that? Okay. So, I'm going to go ahead and just load up a game really quick just to make sure that that operates as expected. Here we go. Okay, so... Okay, so we'll let that game load up just to make sure that it is working as it should, but it looks like everything went off without a hitch. So bottom line, it is definitely much easier to install a new drive into a PS4 Pro. And as far as I'm to understand, both the PS4 and the PS4 Mini, I guess it's called, all iterations of the current generation of PlayStation console have that simplicity of drive swappability. Now, given the fact that most people are just going to install their hard drive externally, by plugging it in via USB, this really does not add that much value to it. It is nice to be able to do that, but all things considered, it wouldn't be something to sell me on buying a PlayStation over an Xbox. The thing that sells me on PlayStation is Uncharted, the new Final Fantasy remake, and now God of War, oddly enough. I actually have been enjoying that because I've been running some tests for this installation and have been enjoying that. So the exclusives is what sells me on the PlayStation console, not any kind of functionality. But either way, the drive is in, it is working properly, and as with the Xbox drive install, do be on the lookout. I will be posting a follow-up video where I will show all of my test results on all the load times of both the system and a selection of games to see just how much of an improvement it is. I would imagine the improvement is going to be about the same as with the Xbox, but we'll see. We actually don't even know yet because I've only recorded the loadings. I haven't actually run any analysis yet. I'm going to let this run for maybe a month or so before I release the analysis, just to make sure that it's stable. Some of you in the comments have expressed concerns about an SSD being installed causing possible issues. More so with the Xbox just because they don't offer the functionality, but with PlayStation, there may still be those inherent risks. So so we're going to run it for a little bit, and then in about a month or so, be on the lookout for a follow-up video with all of the test results to see just how much replacing your mechanical hard drive with an SSD actually benefits you. As always, I thank you all for tuning in and checking out this little foray into tinkering with modern game consoles. If you did like this, there's a lot more to come, so do subscribe to find out more. But we do have a variety of content that we put up on the channel, so if you are into the various things that we have to offer, you can hit the bell as well. But that is all I have for now. Like I said, tune in soon where we have the follow-up to this, and I will see you next time.